Hello, I'm Alex Hare, and I welcome you to Australian Archives, a program of musical items featuring Australian artists of note and taken from the archives. And let's commence this edition of Australian Archives with a tune from Judy Banks. She starred in the production of Salad Days here in Melbourne, Salad Days by Julian Slade and Dorothy Reynolds. And Judy sings for us, I Sit in the Sun. that was Gene Pingatore at the banjo, with the accompaniment directed by William Flynn, of course, he of 3dB Orchestra fame. And Gene Pingatore came here from the United States in 1925 and remained. He became part of the Melbourne music scene. That recording made in 6th of September 1957 here in Melbourne. And before that it was Judy Banks from Salad Days, I Sit in the Sun. Of course, Judy now involved with her hubby Bob Phillips at the Television Museum down there near Mornington. 1961, the Arthur Young Channel 9 Orchestra backs Pilita. Do you remember Pilita? Here she is with Come Closer to Me.
Acércate más y más y más, pero mucho más, y bésame así, 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 como besas tú, pero besa pronto, porque estoy sufriendo, no lo estás tú viendo, que lo estoy queriendo, sin quererlo tú. Acércate más y más y más, pero mucho más, y bésame así, 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 como besas tú. ¿Acaso pretendes a desesperarme? Ven por Dios a darme ese beso tuyo que te pido yo. Y más, y más, pero mucho más, y bésame así, 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 como besas tú, pero besa pronto, porque estoy sufriendo, no lo estás tú viendo, que lo estoy queriendo, sin quererlo tú. Acércate más y más y más, pero mucho más, y bésame así, 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 como besas tú. ¿Acaso pretendes a desesperarme? Ven por Dios a darme ese beso tuyo que te pido yo.
Skies of blue are calling me. where golden air and balmy breezes caress the waving palms at Waikiki. I hear you calling me. I hear you calling me. I hear you calling me. I hear you calling me.
The Song of the Islands from the Hawaiian Club Quartet, and the vocalist Johnny Wade from June 1939. Before that, we heard Pelita, the Arthur Young Channel 9 Orchestra, 1961 recording, and she gave us Come Closer to Me. Now to 1936, to April of that year, Frank Coughlin's Trocadero Band, and this is recording for Columbia in the Homebush Studios in Sydney.
Mother dear, I'm writing you from somewhere in France, hoping this finds you well. Sergeant says I'm doing fine, a soldier and a half. Here's the song that we all sing, it'll make you laugh. We're gonna hang out the washing on the Siegfried line. Have you any dirty washing, mother dear? We're going to hang out the washing on the Siegfried line, 'cause the washing day is here. Whether the weather may be wet or fine, we'll just rub along without a care. We're gonna hang out the washing on the Siegfried line, if the Siegfried line's still there. Everybody's mucking in and doing their job, wearing a great big smile. Everybody's got to keep their spirits up today. If you want to keep in swing, here's the song to sing. We're gonna hang out the washing on the Siegfried line. Have you any dirty washing, mother dear? We're going to hang out the washing on the Siegfried line, 'cause the washing day is here. Whether the weather may be wet or fine, we'll just rub along without a care. We're going to hang out the washing on the Siegfried line, if the Siegfried line's still there. Come on, it's the big Monday, washing day. Bring out your washing, clothes, pegs and all, 'cause the washing day is here. Never mind the weather, whether it's wet or fine, we'll just rub along without a care. We're going to hang out the washing on the Siegfried line, if the Siegfried line's still there.
The washing on the Siegfried line, indeed, and that was Jack Lumsdaine. He was accompanying himself on the piano, and they recorded that one in Sydney on the 17th of October 1939. Before that, also at the Homebush Studios in Sydney in April of 36, Frank Coglin's Trocadero Band, and quite a nice tune, Sweet Lucy Brown. And now let's come down to Melbourne, and Smacker Fitzgibbon, his mum Minnie at the piano. The musical director on this recording session is Keith MacDonald, and this comes from May of 1973. Smacker gives us Tut Tut Tootsie.
Yesterday I heard a lover sigh, goodbye, oh me, oh my. 7 times he got aboard his train, 7 times he hurried back to kiss his love again and tell her, Toot toot tootsie, don't cry, toot toot tootsie, goodbye. That choo-choo train that takes me away from you, no words can tell how sad it makes me. Kiss me tootsie and then do it over again. Watch for the mail, I'll never fail. If you don't get a letter, then you'll know I'm in jail. Toot toot tootsie, don't cry, toot toot tootsie, goodbye. Tootsie, don't cry, toot toot tootsie, goodbye. that choo-choo train that takes me away from you. No words can tell how sad it makes me. Kiss me, tootsie, and then do it over again. Watch for the mail, I'll never fail. If you don't get a letter, then you'll know I'm in jail. Tootsie, don't cry. Tootsie, goodbye.
Limelight who is always talking fight, how he'll put an end to England and her people overnight. Up the lion's tail is wagging and the roof is on the hop, and they'll teach this painter fellow that this row has got to stop. We're marching on from the land of the southern sea. There'll be no more hiring Hitler, no more Berlin on the spree. For the AIF is marching with its cry of liberty. So keep your chin up, Mother England, we're marching on to victory. We will teach him we are ready, that this world is wide and free, that our men are brave and steady and we're fond of liberty. We will paint the vivid pictures with our birdmen in the sky, till he roars, my God, you stop it, yeah, but then he'll hear the cry. We're marching on from the land of the southern sea. There'll be no more hiding Hitler, no more Berlin on the spree. For the AIF is marching with its cry of liberty. So keep your chin up, Mother England, we're marching on to victory. So keep the barrel rolling, England, we're marching on to victory.
Peter Dawson from July of 1940, and the Second World War was well and truly on for young and old. He recorded that in Sydney for Regal Zonophone with the orchestra conducted by Brian Lawrence. The AIF is marching, and indeed they were. Before that, Smacker Fitzgibbon, his mum Minnie, Toot Toot Tootsie. And we close this edition of Australian Archives with Jimmy Parkinson, with Bob Gibson's Ford Show Orchestra, and from a 1955 recording for Columbia, Sometimes Even Now.
Sometimes even now I seem to feel you near me, though our love affair is dead. In the silence of the night I sometimes wish that you might be with me, dear. Sometimes even now I hear your haunting laughter lingering through the years that have gone. If our hearts had not been proud, we might have been allowed our happiness those who told us that it could not be, dear, thought that we were wrong. We learned too late to listen to our own hearts, play our own parts, sing our own songs. Sometimes even now I think I hear your footsteps echoing each beat of my heart. In the lonely days ahead, I'll treasure things you said forever. I hear your footsteps echoing each beat of my heart. In the lonely days ahead, I'll treasure things you said forever. Sometimes
Sometimes even now. Jimmy Parkinson with Bob Gibson and his Ford Show Orchestra closing this edition of Australian Archives. Australian Archives was conceived, prepared and produced by Alex Hare for Golden Days Radio. Thanks for listening, and bye for now.